Alright, what's up? So, I've been asked to make a tutorial for Tyke and Sons, and I figured why not do that by going through my world record, which has all the current strats, and just basically commentating on what I did wrong, and going into depth about what I am doing and why I'm doing it. So, here goes. So, you start the run. First thing that happens is you are asked to make the two chivet mats, and you need to grow a tree to its second choppable stage, I guess. And you have this little strat. So basically, unless you are extremely fast somehow, this basically works every time. What you want to do is plant all 4 trees, obviously, because you want to get them to grow as fast as you can. And then just sit here and mine the first 2 ones until the ones on the left are grown. By the time the ones on the left are grown, if you haven't gone too slow, you should have just enough wood. I think you need to chomp like 12 of these small trees or something. With these small trees, the reason you want to break them is because when you go up like another tree stage, it only gives you 1 to 2 more wood. So sitting there watering the tree for an extra 3-ish seconds is just not worth the extra wood that you get. After that, you can see these trees are grown. I'm going to chop them, water that other tree so I can come back around and chop it after it auto grows for a bit. Craft this wood, which there's another thing that I should mention. It's very small. The time save isn't going to matter a whole lot. But the way this game works, if you shake your mouse and spam it over buttons like this, it'll make it register quicker. You don't want to shake it like around your screen a lot, just like a little bit. Just kind of like, there. Ooh, I should mention something that saves just like a slight bit of time. Build them on the left side because your cursor will be closer to the build button. As you can see, I just go from clicking the thing to building it, and then you're on to the knight. Now, the knight is pretty self-explanatory if you've played the game. There really isn't a quicker way to do it. I just kind of focus all of my attention on one side. I just like go to the left over and over and over again because by chance I should get at least 4 of the 7 or 8 spawns. I don't remember the exact number. So I should mention, the last sleep assurance that you get is automatic. Should be able to tell based on how many, like what time you're at. Already got the auto sleep assurance, or if you haven't and you need to wait for it at the bed. Most of the time, I think you get it, just as long as you aren't super slow. Try and get it the second it shows up. There we go. But yeah, sometimes you'll get that sleep assurance just randomly. I think it's if you're slow, but I'm not too sure. Just pay attention. If you think you're way ahead of the timer, if you're like 10, 15 seconds ahead of time for no good reason, then it's probably because you need to kill another one. Anyways, okay. This is one of the major time saves of the game, which is very simple. Unfortunately, my timer is covering it here because there's like UI all over the screen and there is no good place to put it. But you need a total of 465 coins. You need 265 to buy stuff in the shop, and you need another 200 for the pearl. And this glitch allows you to get money extremely fast. Basically, this room has a bunch of objects that you can click that give you coins, and by pressing the remove object button and clicking the screen, it resets all of them. So, if I was to click this acorn, this light, this cup, this light, and maybe the axe, and they all give me coins, those things, when you press the delete objects button and clear it again, will all still have coins again. It will reset the coin that they have. Sometimes the axe and the hole in the log are a bit finicky, and they don't always give you the coin even when you reset it. But anyways, this is the fastest way to farm coins. And for this part, if there's 2 ways to do this. You can just get all the coins for the shop instantly if you want, like just to simplify things. But the faster way to do it that I figured was by getting 145 at first and saving the rest of the 120 for later. You want to save all the coin farming or whatever kind of farming you do for when you're like waiting for mail. And you don't need anything past these items that you buy. So you save the rest of the coin farming for later when you would find it more of a use. Like while you're occupied waiting for mail, just give yourself something to do. Something that you could do, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, maybe it might be worth it to farm a few extra coins, like maybe 28, so that you can buy 4 red lumber. Just in case something happens, so you don't have to run across the map to buy red lumber if you end up having really garbage RNG. Anyways, so after you get those 145 coins, you move on to this boss fight. This boss fight is really simple. Either pay attention to how many times you hit the ground, or there's this one audio cue that I use for the last 2 times that you water him. It's like a certain sound, which I can't really explain it here, but you could probably figure it out. Anyways, next part of the run. So luckily on night 2, or day 2, I guess, you can instantly just do the gold game. So you want to just get this out of the way. You can do it later if you want, but I would recommend just doing it sooner. So if you die or something, you can just reset your run. You don't waste too much time to lose to something so stupid. Anyways, you want level 4, do the gold game, and you actually only want 1 gold. Now, for the longest time, we did used to get all 5 until I went and tested it, and I realized that making a gold farm is actually faster. It saves around, I think, like a minute and 20 seconds waiting for mail than you do actually doing all 5 of the gold games. Then, yeah, you do that, come to this coffee game. Coffee game is pretty self-explanatory. There isn't really a way to do it faster with any glitches or anything, so you just kind of gotta do that. And then you go to the shop after doing that, because you need the items for this first part of the game. And in this shop, if you are doing the split shop route, you want a flower pot, 5 bamboo, crazy face, and glass cage. And those are all the items you need for this first bit. Everything else you'll buy later when the shop is like in your line, when it's in your route, so you don't have to like run across the map to come here. Anyways, yeah, after doing that, oh, here's the next little strat. There's this system that I like to call teleporting, because basically you can leave the game and it will teleport you when you re-enter to a certain location. Now, this location changes based off of where the last major event happened. 4 main save places. If you ever have a dialogue there or some sort of event happen, you will spawn there until something else happens. And those 4 spawn places are your house, as you can see here, because I just teleported straight home. Seabill's house, the underground mine, and the oil rig. Anyways, you just have to farm for the stuff for the rock farm and the crabs. And that's just completely RNG. There's really nothing you can do about it. What you want to hope for is that you get specifically the items you need for the rock farm like instantly. And also, I guess the stuff for the crabs too. It's a little complicated because you basically want the items instantly, not necessarily because it's faster, but you want them instantly here, mainly so that you can save like farming these little things I like to call meatballs on the floor for when you're waiting for mail, because that's just more efficient. And so yeah, you want to get that rock. You want to farm for that rock farm, get it down as soon as possible, because you're going to need those big rocks or whatever they're called for the Spidar farm. You need that Spidar farm for bars later on in the game. You need 9 bars, so you need 27 Spidars. And you're definitely not going to get all of those from farming. It's probably slower to farm them than to just wait for them in the mail. So anyways, farming's going to take a bit. Go talk to Seabill after you put the rock farm down. Oh yeah, one thing before you do help out the crabs is you want to run past them and do this minigame for the golden acorn at first, but you need the magic heart, so you have to do these. Otherwise, you're going to have to inconveniently do what I did and run across the map for no good reason because you forgot to do it. Oh yeah, another small little time save I should mention. This probably only saves like 2, maybe 3 seconds. Is the second you see you got this golden acorn, you can press escape. If you press it too early, you won't get it. And so yeah, you're going to be asked to build Chibomat 2.0. You might need some red lumber. Also this minigame, I think it matters when you do it, just as long as you do it before you go near Seabell's house again. I don't know if I mentioned farming for the Spydar cave, but you want to farm for that as well here, because you're gonna need at least 6 Spydars after you finish the underground section in night 3 or day 3. It's very important that you have those 6, because you're gonna be where the dude who sells bars is. You're gonna want to just buy them from him right then and there. Oh yeah, so this night is where you're gonna want to build the wooden shipwreck and the wooden bird. So you're gonna need some wood. So make sure you have some trees growing. When it comes to wanting to farm trees and get wood as fast as possible, you do want to farm the small ones just because they're just quicker. But for the small amount of wood that you need for the rest of the run, you actually want to just like plant trees around the map and just let them grow to max, so you don't have to play the chopping animation over and over again, because that will lose you a lot of time. So you want to just plant a bunch of trees, leave them there, let them grow large. I'm not exactly sure how many you need. So yeah, I did the math. Apparently you need to chop at the very least 57 large trees after night 1, but it kind of varies depending on how much lumber you get from the mail. So I guess you can just kind of take a guess on how much you need, or maybe just check your inventory. But yeah, you need a total of 285 wood. But yeah, you're gonna put down the shipwreck and the wooden bird, and because you're gonna be over here near Seabill again, you want to go do the heart minigame. But yeah, you need 4. Oh yeah, also each time you go to talk to Seabill, grab a light bulb. I think you need 2. So yeah, just don't forget to grab a light bulb. So yeah, just want to talk to this guy. If you talk to him, you can just leave. Don't go back up the elevator, because that cutscene takes like 10 or 15 seconds, something like that. You can just escape and see. Like I was saying with the save point system, you talk to Seabill, so it teleports you up here. This is like your last save zone. And then from here you have to run home, because if you just leave the game again, it'll just teleport you back to Seabill's house. If you talk to the DJ, you're gonna be asked to fight this guy. I don't think there's a whole lot of strategy to this. Just try not to get hit, so that way you can like a brute force killing this dude. Like the second he lands. I think I do it earlier. Like, see this? I just take a hit here so that I can water him. Okay, so you finish Roborocks, and then you talk to the people, the cutscene plays you over here, and this is where you buy the 2 metal bars. So you buy those, and you go up the ladders. Do not leave the game, because there is a save in that cave. If you leave the game, it will just put you back in the cave. Don't worry though, you don't have to go up the elevator here, you just have to climb up the ladder. But yeah, he's gonna ask you to build a rock chop. This is one of the times where like you might need to just wait for mail. So, you know, farm the rest of those coins or farm for items. Oh yeah, you need to buy a crazier face from this dude with 25 feathers. I'm not really sure when the optimal time to do that is because it kind of depends when you get 25 feathers. Depending on how fast you get that wooden bird down and how long it takes you to build like the shipwreck, I guess, because that's the only other thing you really need to build. Just how many feathers you get from farming. Like if you happen to have enough feathers while going to walk to give the DJ the disc, and that's going to be that. You're just going to need to do some farming, waiting for mail, and you're on to the night. There isn't really a whole lot to the night. Just be fast to things. Be smart. Don't lose your run by trying to be too fast. It's really not worth it. You aren't going to save that much time by trying to be minimalist about it. Okay, then you're just going to be assigned to do this task after the 3rd night to go throw out the frog. And something I should mention is that after you throw out the frog, you should have a mail. Make sure you grab that mail because that mail will have an item that you need. I don't remember exactly what it is. I think it might be like lightning in the bottle or clouds. And then after you collect it, leave the game. If you have enough coins at this point, do buy a clam and place it down because you can place the clam down by this point. You want that clam down as soon as possible as well because you're going to need it soon here. Anyways, so when you are running over, you need to talk to the owl and grab a warning sign so you can make the thing to go underwater. So I said get the stuff from the shop after you go get the warning sign. You actually need to get it before because you need the umbrella. So when you're going to get the warning sign, just cross over it, go into the shop, buy all the stuff that you need, the flower pot, 2 pillows, glass cage, and umbrella, and then go get that warning sign and do the rest of the farming for building this machine. Don't focus on these coins too much because you don't need them. There's better ways to get coins. Also, by this point in the run, you shouldn't really need coins. There's a few spots like here we can go underneath the fish if you want to save a life, just to help you later on. There isn't any real tricks or anything. Just always hold down shoot though. There is no limit to the gun or anything. Now, this boss is a bit interesting. You want to just hit him whenever possible. You gotta get to him as quick as possible. Make sure you follow him, because if he goes too far, he might become out of reach of your bullets. You wanna be hitting him whenever possible. So like here, I follow him. I don't know if you can shoot him while he's like off screen, like right here when it stops shaking. I don't know if he like disappears or if you can continue shooting him. But I would just shoot in that direction and stay relatively close just in case. And yeah, where I'm positioning myself is about where you want to be. Because you want to be able to hit him, but you don't want to be too close because you don't want to run into him. You want to hope he spawns on the sides like that so you can just shoot him. And after you do this water boss, you want to go back and get the rest of the bars because you should have gotten enough mail by this point. So yeah, you buy the bars, go get the seedless grapes, just continue on with your run. Yeah, and then after you get those grapes, you're going to do this game. This game is pretty straightforward. There's only like a small time save that's really viable in a run, which is right here. You want to skip these upcoming leaves. Shouldn't take a lot of practice. You can pretty easily skip them, and it'll save you a few seconds. And you're going to put the thing in the thing. You're going to have to go to this cave, help out the customers. Yeah, lights go on the left, chairs go on the right. You want to go talk to this bird, go back, and then it's time for memory. There isn't really a strat to doing this memory. Just gotta kind of be good at the game. Practice it. Don't need to over practice it. You can really only save so much time. Just try not to mess it up. If you lose, then it'll probably lose you a decent bit of time. So after you do that, you're gonna have to go to Seabell's house and then do this robot bird fight. There isn't really any way to do this faster. I think this right here is the only part that you can do faster. You just want to hit him as soon as possible. So stand over there, pre-water your things. You're gonna need to water that as soon as possible to get that one off. I think I actually missed him here by a little bit. Again, after you finish this fight, do not teleport home. You cannot teleport here. After you finish that fight, your spawn point is set at the oil rig. And unless we find like a glitch or something. Down that. Gold farm, set a timer for 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Or just look at your timer and base it off of that if you want. And then you can just do whatever. You won't need any items from this point on, so you just kind of get to sit here and chill out. While you're waiting, you can walk over here next to the town if you want, because once you wait the 3 minutes 15 seconds and open your mail and get the stuff, he's going to be right here, the fun fungal that you need to click. So, and that's going to be that. Click the one in Seabell's house, teleport home, and then you're going to need to do this boss. Now this boss has a little bit of time save if you get lucky. So you can actually stay in the rooms where he's at. So what you want to hope for is that one of these curtains on the side here, you can just hold it closed and he'll spawn there multiple times, because then you'll just get rid of him the second he spawns in. And if he somehow spawns on the same side for every single thing, that'll probably save you like 30-40 seconds from the average run. So you just have to hope to get really lucky. And then you have the second part where you have to water him. There isn't really anything too complicated about this. Just make sure you make effective use of your extra lives. This boss fight is really easy, as long as you aren't like too terrible with a mouse. So playing with one life should be relatively easy. Just every time they hit you, they back off, so you can use that time to water him rather than wasting water on the mushrooms. And then just run over to Seabob. And then you have the final fight of the game. Now, again, here, most of your time save is pretty straightforward. You just want to hit all of your shots. Try to avoid getting hit so you don't die. Don't be afraid to tank, because hearts spawn decently often. The only real skip, I guess, quote-unquote skip, is you can skip like the second phase of this fight. You will see in a second here. See, it'll charge forward and then like shoot from the back. If you just stay on it and continue shooting, you can take it out. And it'll just skip that phase. And that saves like 10 or 15 seconds. I don't really remember, but it's worth doing. Just go on a fight. Try and connect every bullet you can. But again, don't lose the fight, because if you lose the fight, you will basically lose your entire run. Because after that, really all you have is like the spam, or like C-Bill. He does like the whole click pattern thing. I'm pretty sure it's the same pattern every time, so you could learn it. But I don't necessarily think that sitting there and learning it will save you a whole lot of time in the run, because you can pretty easily just like wave your mouse around and spam. It might save you like a few seconds if you memorize the pattern, so if you're really down for it, go for it. But it's not the greatest time investment. And there you have it. That is how you get world record in Tyke and Sons. Based off of what I've done. Just fix your routing. Just gotta know where you need to go. Doing multiple runs. Eventually you'll just learn what to do and you'll remember the stuff. Yeah, if I missed anything, I'll put it down in the comments or something like that in the description maybe. Yeah, thanks for watching.